I'm taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
Yeah, what's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. Yo, I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpio, doing representing, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do is Jesus Shuttleworth the guy, aka the Go Artist, aka LB Lauderdale Boss. Sample Kings Forever, out now. Let's get it. Tuesday Night Boxing Talk. We here. RainGangRadio.com in the building.
Yes, sir. And make sure you do listen to that Sample Kings and, LB and Kleinarchy, because Kleinarchy did, he laced that shit, lovely, I gotta say, though. That shit sounds nice in your car if you have a system and everything like that. So yeah, make sure you go cop that shit. But I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey yo, what's good? You know who this is? Your boy King P. Bodega Box in the building. Ring Gang Radio all day. Let's go. Tuesday Night Boxing.
Yes, sir. Do we have anyone? I mean, other than what we talked before, is there anyone that needs to be banned from the bodega?
No, but I'll say it. I'm bald niggas is banned for a week. I'm tired of you niggas. Like the past 2 days, everybody that's annoyed me has been bald. So it's becoming a reoccurring thing. Like so. It's not, I'm gonna have to just ban all you bald niggas from the bodega just for a week. Y'all pissing me off.
Exactly. So y'all better go find your wigs, your toupees, or whatever the fuck.
Go to Turkey. Go to Turkey, but not the boxing one.
Oh yeah, they be hooking up hair plugs up for niggas.
No, I actually know people that actually got that surgery like successfully. I'd be like, damn,
the hair plugs I met.
I mean, motherfuckers be paying like $6,000 to $8,000 for that shit. I'm like, god damn, is it really that serious? Do you really want your hair that bad, or some people just need to go bald graceful. But actually, let me not jinx myself because, like I said, I'm in my 40s and I still got.
Yeah,
if you would have been bald, you would have been bald already. You good?
Yeah, and I get that too, because like I said, I'm probably the only, at least on my father's side of the family, I'm probably the oldest person that actually still has his hair.
It's your mother's side of the family that's like determines your hair. That's what they say.
Actually, it's supposed to be your mother's dad. I think your grandpa on your mom's side.
Something like that. Yeah.
So I think the men on my mom's side, they actually did have there, but they're not like as old as me. So. Well, we'll see how that goes, though. But yeah, no, I plan to keep this hair. But I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Let's fly as conscious pilot, the West Coast Avenger, preparing for liftoff. It's been a minute, but let's fly. Let's go. Ring gang.
Yes, sir. Conscious pilot stays elevated above the clouds. You dig? So yeah, the topic tonight, obviously, it's something that was on Box Twitter for a couple of weeks and whatnot. And it was a weird response to probably one of the best fights that's happened this year. Just to kind of preface everything. Like obviously, that weekend where Turkey had his Friday and Saturday cards. The Friday card, which is one of the worst cards I've ever seen. The New York cards. It was horrific. And I actually like Turkey cards, but I'm also a stickler for quality. Like on paper, cool, but it's gotta deliver. It didn't deliver. It was horrid. And then after that Saturday was Canelo and Skull, which is probably one of the worst main events. Like in those two events, they managed to break CompuBox records that that shouldn't really like that that are not supposed to be like broken like just willy nilly right now. Like you get booed for people that break that, who break those type of records. Like niggas are just dancing around each other and not throwing and staring, making faces. Are you fucking kidding me? Nah. So Top Rank had their card the Sunday, and that card actually hit, punctuated by an exciting fight where Monster, came back to the U.S. after a 5-year absence and fought Ramon Cardenas straight from the Pro Box circuit. Like I said, we all thought it was just going to be like a steamroller job or anything like that. And Cardenas again, a wonderful advertisement for what Pro Box has been doing for boxing. Drops Monster hard. Like this wasn't no Neri type of knockdown. Like he caught him with a ridiculous left hook, and for the most part was managed to bother Monster in ways that we haven't really seen since the Donaire fight. But Monster, of course, is a guy. He's a fighter of quality, and and he eventually wore down Cardenas and eventually got him the fuck up out of there. Like I said, it was back and forth. It was a wonderful fight. Now, let's just say, if there was like if a criticism to be had about this fight, then okay, that maybe Monster needs to kind of not fight a certain level of competition. Like he needs to stay a little sharper, and that's okay. That's a little criticism because obviously, before that he fought someone because Sam Goodman was like, okay, didn't want his title shot, kept on hemming and hawing, and did all types of stuff and then. He's like, yeah, no, I'm not ready for the shot, and then he had to have someone of a lower stature step in for that one. But regardless of that, Inoue Cardenas saved that weekend, and it was a true blue fight league, and it had all types of buzz, and everything like that. It was a wonderful fight. So boxing Twitter, though, you think okay, it should get more praise, but then. You get certain platforms that are kind of shitting on Inoue. Like you're saying, oh, he's overrated, he's chinny, he's not as good as that, he's still not fighting anybody, all this other stuff, and it's just like, goddamn, you can't please boxing fans, especially after that weekend. That weekend was done that weekend was pretty much saved in spades. And there are whole platforms that actually went on and just had a whole thing being horribly inaccurate, spouting off why Naoya Inoue was overrated, and it was just a whole bunch of nonsense. And I'm thinking to myself, and we're thinking to ourselves, why are people going so hard for this? People were going harder for Inoue being overrated than Devin Haney. Let's just say, who respect Devin Haney, who was jitterbugging around the fucking ring, was antsy, had ants in his pants. I'm thinking to myself, where's the smoke for that? That's not one guy's opponent up out of it, the other one won cautiously, and people were calling it boxing.
Nah, but you gotta remember though, Antonio Tarver had smoke for that nigga. He had smoke in the commentary, and people started crying about it. So I'm just like, yo, this generation is cooked if we can't be critical of a fight like that, because the fight was trash.
Yeah, it was super trash, and it's not it happens. With Rigo fights, we've trashed that. So Lomachenko Rigo was a bad fight. Hell, if you even want to talk to Floyd Mayweather, like we mentioned before, Floyd versus Baltimore is probably Floyd's worst big fight. It was god awful.
Awful.
Yeah, even Floyd
fucking running and moving back, bro.
Yeah, even Floyd was. And Floyd heard it saying even Floyd had to be half apologizing because it was. He knew no one was fucking with that fight. People were leaving.
Yeah, niggas was leaving. Fucking that was a Shakur Stevenson fight because I remember Tiger Woods I think was leaving. Jordan left.
Yeah.
He's yeah, I'm done with this bullshit.
That was your Shakur, somewhat of a Shakur moment, when the Vans left.
I literally just said that. I literally just said that. I literally just said that was a Shakur Stevenson fight.
but yeah, I get boxing is it's the entertainment business. We all like to see good boxing, but we all have watched enough boxing to know what's good boxing and what's bad boxing. Honestly, if you're safe, if you're boxing safe and you're running, you're not really damaging your opponent the way you're supposed to. That's gonna lead to a lot of negativity. You're gonna get a lot of negativity feedback.
Negative styles get negative feedback. Come on.
Yeah.
Too easy.
Right. But and all this stuff was not prevalent in Inoue versus Cardenas. It was not prevalent at all. And I'm thinking to myself, why are people going so hard to discredit this guy who we really saw at least four fights where fighters were just looking at each other, running around, wasted movement, jabbing, being skittish, and you're talking to a guy who literally got knocked down and then went back into his wheelhouse and absorbed some more punishment, just so to make sure they get him up out of there, because he was such a large favorite, and it wouldn't be a good look, a la Tank and Roach, if someone like that actually went the distance.
Because that slows up the sport, especially if you go the distance, and it's one of those, or it could have gone, you could have went either way type fights. Like, Inoue don't need that in his career right now. Tank didn't need it. The sport, boxing doesn't need it at all when, like, the lesser heralded opponent, puts up a better fight than expected. If he makes it a close, it's a decision, could go either way, because now it's like, it's only fair to do the rematch.
Yeah, and truthfully, if Cardenas actually went to the cards and it was like a draw, then criticism would be valid, because we gave Tank an earful for the Roach thing because it was cherry picking, on that way. It would be like, okay, it's not good luck for Monster to be pound for pound, but he's going life and death and gets a draw or something like that. That's not good luck. That's a loss.
This was his damn Daenerys, I think Cesar Juarez fight.
I'm gonna be honest. This is a clown conversation. Like that we have to discuss. Like the people, if asking if he's overrated, this is a clown. It's a clown question.
It is. But
it is.
But it seems like every time he fights, it comes up. It's
playing devil's advocate, though, I will say there are a sector of boxing fans that are like, they're kind of pro-Japanese. Nothing's wrong with that, but there's certain boxing fans that overrate a lot of Japanese fighters. And I'm not saying Inoue is overrated. I'm just saying there's a certain fan base that will sometimes.
Oh, the Japanese fan base?
Not Japanese. Japanese people are like very,
I get that. Hold on. I'm just saying this. I get that, because I will say there is a section of boxing fans that might kind of overrate Japanese boxing in particular. Like if a fighter is from Japan, they get like extra points added to like their notch.
Japanese and
but it's just like
weights.
Inoue this is not the case with Inoue. Like this in a way is a level above all of that. Like, so it's stupid to even include him in that.
Yeah, so, but it seems like it's like every single fight. I mean, obviously, even before he fought Fulton, it was like, okay, he won the World Boxing Super Series. Yeah, he beat old Daenerys, who actually ended a career in one fight and then brutally knocked out an alternate in the other fight. Like, it's and a Daenerys that went on to win couple more titles after that, so it's just like, okay, then the Fulton fight, and obviously the Fulton fight I mentioned before, like it really kind of showed that people had some strong biases. Now, nothing wrong with saying that Fulton will win if you're like, okay, Fulton win his skills or whatever, but the problem is people were not doing that. It was either like, yeah, Fulton was, oh yeah, I'll box him. We'll just run into punches.
Yeah, because it was the reasoning behind people picking Fulton. Like, it's like, be honest with yourself. Like, y'all just giving these niggas attributes and shit, hoping that that's what's gonna win. Hey, salute Android. What it do? Been looking forward to this one. Top Rank didn't help by highlighting that the guy did Uber 100 times. Even had it flashing on the screen during the fight with a pop-up. Way to downplay the point. Yeah, and that's the problem. Like, I'm trying to remember. I was watching some boxing HBO show, and damn, maybe it's something old, and they mentioned the guy was they mentioned the opponent was pizza delivery guy or some shit, and they only brought it up one time, but I think they brought it up once or twice, but it was just to kind of show you, like, hey man, this guy's a tough guy, you can't just shit on people because they have these regulars. Like, they didn't make it a selling point for the fucking opponent. Like,
no, actually, they used to do that for Roy Jones opponents. Like, some of Roy Jones opponents, like back in the day. Yeah, like,
but that's what you could tell when the executives were like, yeah, make sure you shit on Roy for having us overpay him for this custodian fight he's about to do, this civil service fight. So I get that, but the whole Top Rank and that last fight with Inoue, just too much of that Uber shit. Like even with the Shakur Stevenson fight with the Padley, the damn
he was a carpenter,
the carpenter or some shit. Like y'all niggas gotta do something else to promote these opponents instead of saying they're regular ass jobs. Because y'all not making these guys look any better. Y'all making it look worse.
Yeah, and Cardenas, like I said, I mean, you could have meant. I mean, I don't think I heard them mention anything of Cardenas. Like, I mean, obviously, if you saw a pro box, like you could have gotten a pro box footage. Let's show the footage of dude's last fight. I mean, it was there. Like, you know, people did watch it, so I was like, okay, yeah, show that he was a tough guy or something.
Let's just talk about how he did Uber for 3 years. Like,
yeah. I get it, you know, people like the sob story, people like trauma porn in a way, but you can only mention.
But you gotta present it that way. They didn't present it that way.
With that, so, you know, it's Top Rank. What did you expect? Mark Kriegel got.
He didn't even know how to present it that way. Like,
think about it. Okay, look at this. You remember how Baldemir was a fucking? He sold feather dusters in Argentina, wherever the fuck he's from.
Yeah.
But you see, they brought that up in like maybe one fight, and then that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we get it, like the way HBO used to do it, like that job or whatever was just a part of the story,
right?
It wasn't the main selling point. Like the Zone and Top Rank and all these guys, they use it as a selling point. Like they literally, like that's like saying, like if somebody say, okay, Pat, he's about to fight this influencer nigga, and all this shit Pat done in his scholastic career and his job and all this shit, these niggas bring up a goddamn some side shit he did, like he won a hot dog eating contest or some bullshit. Like,
right.
You'd be like, wait, what the fuck? Like they're not gonna say like, well, yeah, he won a strongman competition, or he did this, or he run a podcast for boxing, or he helps troubled teens in the urban city. Though y'all gonna bring up some random shit.
Exactly.
So that's all I'm saying. It just don't look good.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look good at all. Like yeah, Top Rank has to be a lot better. Like
cheaper than your product.
Yeah, like I mean, like I said, I mean, you're trying to sell Monster in America, and we talked about this beforehand, like how they weren't really doing the best job of trying to get Monster, you know, trying to promote Monster in America, and like 5 years, like I mean, Monster's done so much, like. Y'all should have rolled up the red carpet for dude. Like, you know, that's literally probably your top fighter in the company right now. Like,
yeah, and they kind of like missed out on that boat because it's like they don't have the opponents like that.
Well, I will say this. I will say, well, not at 122. I think the well's starting to run a little dry, and you know, hopefully, like you know. After Akhmadaliev, you know, who is actually a quality fighter, you know, it goes up in terms of, because I know 126, obviously, that's where everyone is looking for him to go to, you know.
He's going to be, I mean, I thought he would top out at 130, but now 126 is probably his cap, his limit now.
Yeah, because I know now everyone, now another name that's been going around for him, like the nickname is like Inoue, which is not really clever at all, just because... Yes, you know,
like it's like I get it, but it's like they was kind of trying too hard. But I get it, like.
But like I said, I mean, Monster's got knocked. I mean, he got his first knockdown was from Luis Neri, who hits a ton. Like he's a notorious puncher. Like, and he got up clear-eyed after. It wasn't like dude was like wobbling and stuff like that. Like we've seen chinny fighters like. You know, we've mentioned Seth Mitchell over time. That's a chinny fighter. You know, I can pull out fucking like another fighter that I had high hopes on, Michael Bennett. Probably the chinniest fighter I ever seen in my life. Couldn't even make it to 10 wins without suffering 4 losses, and 3 of them to sheer jobbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, or Joaquin Alcine again, who I can't imagine how he became champion. Or Enzo Maccarinelli. All his losses were by brutal knockouts, starting with David Haye. So it's like we've seen chinny fighters like
Amir Khan.
Yeah, Amir Khan, yeah, especially him. Chinny is all hell, you know. But Monster, once he got hit, like I mean, he wasn't wobbling. He'd go down, he'd bang on the canvas, and he'd get back up and continue to fight, make adjustments. There was no fucking back foot boxing, no running around the ring, no chicken dances, no being on Queer Street, none of that shit. Like,
and I don't even mind the whole back foot boxing if you're gonna actually legit box and use the ring and pump the jab and do some 1-2s and 2-3s, whatever. I get it, but a lot of these dudes, they literally be running. Like, if you're gonna do what Paul Williams did in the 12 to Margarito, fine, cool, that's smart. If you're gonna do what Virgil Ortiz did the Boa check, whenever he got dropped, that's fine, cool. But if you're gonna just, Laura Cadelo or Shakur Stevenson De Los Santos, it's kind of like, hey, Trinidad De La Hoya, another one. They're just fucking looping the ring, like, bro.
Yeah,
that ain't ring general shit. That's run general shit.
No, Monster is pretty much okay. It was like, establish a jab, establish your footing. Get in there, make adjustments. That's what he does. He's not over there. It's like he's not taking no right hands. He's not like wobbling over the place. He's going there. He clears his head the way he needs to, and he goes back and fights. We want more fights to do this. Like hell, Devin Haney. Devin Haney got unstuck by Jorge Linares for the last 3 rounds of the fight, and couldn't get unstuck. And unfortunately, with the Ryan Garcia thing, obviously because it was PED influence, but Haney was having a hard time recovering. Like, we see that, and it's like for you, guy that, but he's not getting the chinny. He's not getting the chinny label like as that people will fight the chinny label on him.
Nah, because the thing is, it's like Devin Haney's he's like in a unique part of the sport where he gets like unfair hate, but which then he's also which
is true, yeah.
He does. He does get unfair hate, but then he also gets some type of unfair protection too, because it's like people like feel like you shouldn't criticize him, and it's like, wait, hold on, like
I will say,
like which one is it?
Most of his hate comes from his pops. I ain't gonna lie.
His pops is kind of like extra with it. Like, I can see that, but even then, it shouldn't just keep that for the pops. Then you know what I'm saying? Like, don't give it to Devin Haney. Like, just like we kind of used to do that with Tio. Like, it was Tio pops we used to kind of get at. Then we kind of realize like them niggas are closer than you think, and they on the same wavelength.
Remember you mentioned Tarver earlier, and then I don't know if y'all saw a tweet about Bill Haney with the resume, dissing Tarver. You know what I'm saying?
That was bullshit.
That kind of shit's whack, and like a lot of the fans don't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? And,
and that's the thing. Like, he gets unfair hate, but then there's times where it's like, yo, man, you do a lot of shit that just kind of piss people off. Like I don't think Devin Haney's unlikable, but Bill Haney has some unlikable in him. Like,
couple that with Haney's quote unquote boring style a lot of the time, not getting knockouts in a long time. I
don't even think Haney's style boring. Just this last fight was.
Yeah, it was horrific.
Because he kind of moves his hands. Like,
I hear boxing fans call Haney boring. I'm just saying. I don't think he's boring.
I've heard it too, but the cries aren't as loud as Shakur Stevenson boy.
No, they are not. And I've seen both of them live though. But luckily, they were actually in fights that were actually they got knockout. No, excuse me. Haney was not a knockout, but it was still a great fight.
It wasn't until like Haney really started staying at 135 too long. That's when you kind of see like the performances went down, like the less punches. Like, he started fighting like Hopkins at 160, toward the end, where it's like he only really had enough for 7 rounds.
Right. No, yeah, I remember those. Yeah, those were. Yeah, that was.
The Howard Eastman performances. Ugh.
Yeah. Jeez, like.
Yeah, nightmares. But yeah, like, cause if you look at Haney, Jojo Diaz, that's a good fight, solid fight.
That was the one I was there for. That shit was hard.
Yeah. The Linares fight, solid fight, good fight. Like the Lomachenko, but it's like the pro grade. That's when you started to see, like, yeah, the boxing's there, but the output ain't. Because for as bad as pro grade looked, any other top pound for pound fighter probably stops that pro grade.
Right. and especially like if they're like Monster, like again, just to bring it back to him, like, and then another thing too, like because I think you mentioned too, like the resume. Now it's like who do people want Monster to beat? Like Fulton.
You just can't name somebody, but they'll be like, yeah, for nobody. Like, okay, who you want him to fight?
Like Fulton. Everyone under the sun was picking. Like everyone damn near was picking Fulton, and like it was just like have y'all? Are you just basing it off because he barely beat Brandon Figueroa, or what are we talking about? Like, have y'all even watched like 4 Fulton fights at least? Like or did you see something in the Angelo Leo fight? Like, that's what I used to be thinking. Like, what are you thinking? Like, when you base it on, like, there are people there. The ones who were the loudest about the overrated thing for Monster were the ones that were picking Fulton, and then they had nothing to say when Monster did what he did to Fulton.
Yeah. And you see that shit really weighed on Fulton a lot, because even the little interviews and the whole, my mama said, there goes my house and all that shit, and like Inoue really put a destruction on dude.
Yeah, and but look at Fulton now. Fulton now is a whole featherweight champion. He's a 2-division champion now. So it's like, again, this is one of those wins of his that's aging well. But I know people keep on saying, outside the tank is like, hey, name somebody at featherweight. And one name that keeps coming up is Bruce Shushu Carrington. Good prospect. Yeah, good prospect. But Shushu, and I said it before, Shushu had a tough time with Sagawa, like a hard time. Like, dude, and he didn't pass that test with flying colors. That was like maybe a B- type of performance. That wasn't. And if you're struggling with someone like Sagawa, you probably need a little bit more seasoning, or something like that. Like people, or of course Motown, which is the most ridiculous one of all of them. Then of course Espinosa. Espinosa's, that's a good one. There are other names that you could probably it's like, okay, if you mention these names, is that gonna satisfy you? Like, if you fought Espinosa and beats him, are you gonna give him his credit? No.
Espinosa a fucking beast.
Yeah, exactly. It just seems like you want him to fight whoever, but when Nakatani is not even mentioned, and Nakatani is probably the one that's probably even closer within his weight class. Never mentioned, and he's like, and he's also like damn near pound for pound himself. So it's like you want to call him overrated, but you want him to fight fighters that are not necessarily on Monster's like achievement level or anything like that. Like,
just because you think the name is serviceable, don't mean boxing or anybody else. Because, like we said, the whole Susu shit was like too early, and we seen, and it played out that way where it's like, it's still too early. Like, let these niggas grow.
Yeah. Yeah, or either that, or let them actually try to accomplish something. Like, like Shushu should be fighting Espinosa right now. Like, that should be the ticket. Like, fight Espinosa to see where he's at right now and see if a Monster fight makes sense, like in a competitive sense.
Yeah, I'm not even opposed to that, because I kind of feel like it's the whole Keyshawn Davis Lemonos thing, where it's like, hey man, like, here's a difficult fight. And it created a difficult circumstance, dude, missed weight, all that. But if you're supposed to be the next guy, you're supposed to be the goods. You're supposed to, like, relish these moments. You're supposed to really excel in these moments. And that's what we kind of waiting for, so we can kind of get behind them pause to say, like, okay, this is the guy Monster needs to look out for. Like, like we kind of low key doing that for Junto, but nobody on this side.
Right.
Like, get this side of the Atlantic too, or the Pacific.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, you want to throw all these names going to come overrated, but you throw out names that are clearly that, you're just either because, like I said, them, you've seen them, we'll watch them, but it's just like, it's just like, oh, yep, that's it, yeah. He's flashy. Okay, maybe he can give Monster some trouble. It don't work like that, Playboy. It don't work like that at all. with the pound for pound.
Yeah, because you see Neri drop Monster, and it's like it wasn't too much of a fight afterwards. Where Cardenas, like, he dropped Monster, and the fight got better. Like, they both were still competitive. Like, until Monster finally took over. But it wasn't just like one of those, okay, he got a flash knockdown and a dominated performance type shit. Like, nah, there was more to it. Like, he was putting punches together, and I'm sorry, I think he buzzed Inoue a few times.
Yeah, he did. Like, he hurt him to the body. Like, he had Monster tentative that we've never really seen him before in quite some time. You know, and I mean, it happens to the best of fighters. Like, it does happen. You know, like, I mean,
overcoming it is what makes you great. Like,
right.
Like, I always gonna grade the dude who is if he's struggling, if he could stop the guy after struggling, that always ranks higher in my book than the guy who just outboxes a dude.
Yeah,
because the stopping is like that's the highest level you could give, right? And that means you motherfucking put yourself in the line of fire again, even after being dropped or in a difficult fight. You still said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go get it." Like that's what makes Sugar Ray Leonard so awesome. Like, you don't see top level boxers, you know, they get hurt or frustrated or they get dropped or tagged, and they still hungry to go get it and put pain on a motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, Tito made a whole career out of that, because Tito used to suffer some flash knockdowns galore and stuff. It used to be put down, but dude would come back up and start swinging. That left
belt to ass, like like you're supposed to.
Tito was that guy. There was like a stat where, like, in 5 consecutive championship fights, he got dropped early to knock his opponent out coming off the canvas. Like, you know,
I mean, basically, it took B-Hop, and that was when he was like almost like 10, 11 years into his career to finally like turn the trick and actually stop him. Like, you know, it's So like I said, it's, you know, that's what Monster is a very special fighter to actually be able to kind of have that type of mentality himself, that he can actually do that. And against the opponents. And another thing, people like to say that Monster has never fought a puncher. Like I don't understand what people think. Just because you fight at a small weight doesn't mean that motherfuckers cannot punch at that weight. Like,
I mean, he's fought some punchers. I would say the Nair, of course, Neri. I honestly feel like Jamie McDonald's a puncher, and he an underrated win.
No, he's absolutely a puncher. Like, he's fought because he's fought enough punchers that would have cracked this shit by now if that was the case. Like, he's not fighting.
Yeah, like he swarms a puncher. He kind of does like what Lennox Lewis does to like the niggas bigger than him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and honestly, that's how you do. Like, you know, I'm gonna attack a bigger motherfucker because a bigger motherfucker ain't really used to niggas attacking him.
Right.
So that's what, you know, you got to do it early. You can't just, you know, you got to do it before they settle in.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and like I said, Emmanuel Rodriguez, like a difficult fighter to fight. You know, he got him out of there too. Payano was a nightmare to fight at Bantamweight because dude was rough. Like, dude could punch and was also rough. Monster got him out of there and won. Like, you know, like there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of fighters out there. There's fighters on this list, that like I said, if Monster was really truly chinny as you think he was or whatever, he would have gotten his head knocked off by now. It's not the case. You know, I mean, just because you don't know what goes on in the division doesn't mean you have to say ignorant shit and be like, okay, yeah, he's never fought a puncher in his life. Trust me, you know, no fighter goes through fighting soft-fisted fighters, like, you know, unless you're maybe Jake Paul or somebody. So it's like, you know,
or Deontay Wilder,
Deontay Wilder. Like,
I mean, it happens. Let's just be honest. It happens, but you kind of get the sense of who's it happening to. Like, like Deontay Wilder, you definitely saw it was happening. Like. He was like 25, 30 something fights, and they're all the same level.
Yeah.
So it definitely happens, but like, well, in a way, nah, that ain't the case. But it does happen. But but like in a way y'all see, like
yeah. I mean, in a way,
look at the record of some of these niggas.
Yeah, whereas in a way, knocked off a cat that was like 29-2-1 in his 6 fight for his first world title. Like he KO'd him. Like
Yeah,
like,
come on.
Like the whole ring champion himself is not like the number one cat at like, and that's what he said. He's knocked off the number one cats in like 4 different divisions. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
one thing to just be beating guys soundly. It's another thing to just be like dish ragging them and knocking them the fuck out and just jumping up and hey, you, boom, knock out.
Yeah, it's almost to the point where if Monster actually goes to 12-round distance, usually there's something like involved, whether like he had a hand injury or some shit like that, or just basically the guy was just maybe ultra tough, or Donaire, who basically is the only guy to like really trade shot for shot for him, and then
the ref kind of helped him out.
Yeah, exactly. So,
you had a little fuckery. That was the Inoue, that was a lot of people's real introduction and realization of like, hey, this Inoue cat, like he's kind of serious. Like, there ain't too many niggas just even stunting on him. Then
no, not at all. So it's just like I mean, like when you're knocking out the number one guy in the division, the ring, like the ring number one and everything like that, like, and you're brutally knocking them out. Like that's a special fight. Like
that counts for something. Because remember, you're getting style points too. Like a lot of these boxers, this day and age, don't get the style points.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, what other fighters out there is actually brutally knocking out the number one fighters in their divisions like that? Like, like the ones that can actually go up in scale. Like it's nothing. I mean, even Crawford didn't do that. Crawford didn't do that at 135. So it's like,
100% ratio at 47. But yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it's just like, I mean, like Usyk doesn't do that. Like, I mean, although let's say
they stayed praising this one.
I mean, I just want to mention. I mean, I did a little interview on the side channel with China Mac, who doesn't know boxing. He's a hip hop guy. And he was kind of fixated on, he think Inoue is overrated. The common American, the average casual fan, when it comes to lower weights, it's like they don't really care, and they and so they don't know, and they dismiss them a lot of the time.
But the thing is, if motherfuckers see it, it's one thing, and motherfuckers ain't know, and they just left it at that, or they just said, "Hey, kind of educate me." But a lot of them aren't on that wave. They literally be the loudest motherfucker in the room talking about, man, that nigga overrated. He ain't did shit. He ain't da-da-da-da. Sound like a goddamn scoring single mom or some shit.
So the last guy say under 135, okay, those Prince Nassim, right? I'm just saying to the casual fan that was kind of like a national boxer, like, who was there between Prince Nassim and then Inoue? I mean, in the middle. I mean, was there another person that was more so mainstream as a little?
The fact you had to ask that when it goddamn Pacquiao, bro, like,
that's true. He came up through divisions. Yeah, he came up. Yeah.
And then it's like you low-key had the there too.
Yeah, but then he got, when he kind of got cemented mainly was like the Floyd fight is when super. You know what I'm saying? I just mean like in terms of like a lower weight fighter because this day and age.
Nah, that's the pinnacle of both their careers. Like if you honestly think about it, Pacquiao has 2 careers. He has the career before he fights Hatton. Then he has the career before. He has the career from that on.
Where he fought Morales and all them, yeah, like that was like his first.
Yeah, like before Hatton and all them, it's like you got to look at like he was already a Hall of Famer then. Yeah, all-time great on the lower scale, lower end of it.
Yeah, I mean, dude KO'd Marco Antonio Barrera, the only one to actually KO him.
And you mentioned Hatton, that was like a 140, right? So yeah, I'm just saying, like, the only relevant fighter right now under 130 is Tank Davis, and that's kind of somewhat of an anomaly. Usually it's welterweight. Usually 147 is when a super, quote-unquote, superstar in America is usually.
Well, that brings me to
a different era.
Well, that that brings me to another side argument that I also keep hearing with Monster. That Monster doesn't fight no black fighters or whatever, and I'm just like and this is the thing that bothers me because it's like, what black fighters do you know under 122 like that? Like, and I would say that's the question. Is like, what black fighters? He's a guy that's based in Japan and fights. What black fighters do you know that operates like that underneath? Like
Mark Too Sharp. I'm kidding.
Like the one.
Yeah, we had the hot tub time machine. Yeah,
the only one we can think of is Aleem and Gary Antonio Russell, the redheaded stepchild.
Well, I wouldn't say no. I mean, I'd say like his Monster's been around for a while. Like, I mean, he was fighting when Rashid Warren was holding the fucking bantamweight title, and Rashid Warren would get his ass whooped like seriously if he actually fought Monster. And even now, like the only other black fighter that was notable, Dylan Price, got brutally knocked the fuck out on a DAZN card, like in an upset.
You know what? I think Warren could make it interesting in a way. We're talking about Prime, like back then, like because he did have some fast ass hands. Like he did. Like I honestly think I could see him drop it in a way, but lose, like get brutalized, like maybe 7-8 rounds.
The only relevant American, like quote unquote, like relevant that's pretty well known is Bam at under like 115. That's like what I'm saying. Like other than that, there's a big jump in terms of.
And he honestly should be a bigger name.
Yeah. He should definitely be a bigger name. I mean, he basically wiped out like three of the four. No, did he wipe out 3 of the 4? No, yeah, 3 out of the 4 of the old 115 quartet, the real 115 4 kings. So it's like, he should. I mean, obviously he needs to be put in bigger fights. I mean, although the fight he's coming, he has come up. It's good, but it should be a bigger fight.
It's a unify. The only thing is Junto and Inoue, like that's the one, and he's like right behind lower weight, so it's kind of like, But I mean, but in terms of like relevancy for a lower weight fighter, he's kind of one of the more popular ones I can recall in a while.
He is.
But with Cardenas, though, like you can see after the Cardenas like this, after the fight, you could see like. I mean, to say that Monster isn't a draw would be is like you saw the crowd. They were they were standing around there, like they literally would not leave the arena. Like they were over there until this motherfucker left the ring. Like they were
let the fan feel it.
And credit to Cardenas because like I know after he lost, I saw him live on Twitter a lot. He had a nice interview on the Boxing podcast. Like he really seemed like a really cool guy. So hopefully he can he can make the most out of it because in a loss he won. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's the type of fight. Yeah,
he won the weekend. Honestly,
he did. That was a proper Berlanga victory tour in a loss. like he.
If you're losing like that, go ahead and lose all day, my nigga. Shit.
Yeah. So I mean,
him and like Inoue and Espinoza saved the fucking boxing weekend.
Yeah.
And their opponents, actually showed up to win.
Because it was a real hyped weekend. That was like the most hyped weekend since Spence fought. Since Spence Bud fought in Inoue. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was a letdown, but that Sunday night was a great event.
Yeah, and like I say, to say that Monster, like Monster, if anything, like I mean, if Top Rank positioned him, like really maps out the rest of his career correctly, Monster could easily be that dude, the face of boxing, and this is not a joke.
Yeah, he could.
I always feel like I don't know if Bob Arum is, I know he's the top rank. I don't know if he still runs day-to-day operations. Probably not. But I feel like he never really, values or prioritizes lower weights in women boxing. He's kind of got on the train with women.
boxing. No. Women's boxing he doesn't. Women's boxing.
I mean, he had a couple main events now. He's with Mikala Meyer and shit like that. Yeah, but I'm saying Bob Arum's really old school. I know like. He doesn't run day to day, but I mean, just his, he's been, for years. You know what I'm saying?
No, so, I think Bob does do lower weight divisions. He's never. I mean, there's a lot of things he doesn't do, but lower weight, I think he's always put effort towards. So it's not like the women's part. He's absolutely.
Yeah, he has. I mean, come on. Yeah, Burchell, Valdez.
130. Okay, I mean, we're talking about 126 to 130. I'm talking about like a 115 to 122. You know what I'm saying? Featherweight, I get, but I'm just saying like Yeah, I mean, there's a couple like he has Japanese prospect he doesn't even really use. You know what I'm saying? You know, and
he uses them. They're the actual good cards that come out top rank.
No, I'm talking about,
like they serve a purpose.
Come again?
I was saying like they serve a purpose, but it's like it's like you either gonna get the work or you want to become a star. Like these niggas is getting the work, but they're not gonna become stars. If that makes sense.
I mean, he should be building up the Inoue Nakatani fight. I mean, you know, it should be, you know, it should be already, you know, planting the seed type of thing. I mean,
but here's the thing, though. Cause, I mean, the one thing that Monster does do that a lot of fighters don't do is they announce his fights like 3 fights out, and then they happen. Which is, we appreciate that because most fighters, you don't know when the fuck they're gonna be coming back. They're like, Caleb Plant is fighting this weekend after like 14 months, and he won that motherfucker. Like, why are you out so damn long? So it's like, you know, so that's the shit we're talking about. Monster is like, okay, yeah, you know, he's back in the ring in September, you know, after that, and at the end of the year, he has another fight. You know, this is the type of thing, this is the type of transparency that we want with the fighters, like, and you're calling him overrated. He, like, no other fighter today plans out his fights like him. Nobody. Not one fighter. Yeah, it's just like, again, but you want to call him overrated. Like he fights, he acts like a fighter. Like, you know, it's like we don't have to be like, okay, when's the next Monster fight? When is he gonna fight? You know, unless the only time we did that was that bullshit with Sam Goodman because Sam Goodman didn't want no damn smoke.
Yeah, because that's Sam Goodman whole ass.
Yeah,
but see, my thing is with in a way, like I like that kind of his fights are kind of figured out early. That's how boxing's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. But now, when you know his fights are, you know, that far away or there's already planned, like start marketing him in different markets. Like what they gotta understand is with boxing, like just like what MVP's been doing with Alicia Baumgartner. Mm-hmm. You know, they're putting her in different markets. You know, they giving a whole bunch of advertisers, they promos, they taking photo shoots. They always got a camera in front of her. So he's going vacation in different countries. They do like that's what Top Rank needs to do it in a way. Like that's one thing I'll give MVP Most Valuable Promotions. They're kind of taking a hands-on, old school approach to promoting, where these other guys, like these other older entities, they kind of got too used to boxing the way it is. Like,
yeah, in this particular case, like I mean, we don't need. Like a maybe a 30-minute or 1 hour thing with some sort of Godzilla reference in the fucking intro graphic or thing, you know.
Yeah. Like just stop the Godzilla references, stop the Ippo references, stop like the anime. Like yo, start putting Inoue in like a whole different set. Like get him some English. Like all the fucking Japanese niggas with English over. Like come on, get him some English lessons. Like, get the fuck out of here. Put this nigga on dub only or some shit. Like, get this nigga some English lessons.
I mean, hell, Canelo, to his credit, like, Canelo was not speaking no type of English, you know. Now you hear him right now, you know, motherfuckers.
Yeah, you know why, right? It's like, Canelo's not stupid. Like, he may be sorry as fuck, but he's not stupid.
Yeah.
Canelo purposely did all this shit so to take you off, to make you forget about who he's ducking and who he's not fighting. Mm-hmm. The motherfucker kept the Golovkin fight in the damn cracking, break glass in emergency. Mm-hmm. He could have been got out the way, but if he would have got that out the way, then he would have to be fighting other dangerous niggas.
Right.
and the way that fight transpired, that seemed almost too dangerous.
Yeah.
Literally, you're having a 115, 113 type of fight with somebody your stand said you was going to knock out.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, bro. Like, so he does that. Then it's like he started just working on English catchphrases. So you could kind of like, so he could get viral. I was born ready.
Yeah.
What's the shit he had with Andre?
Get the fuck out of here, Payday. Get the fuck out of here.
You want Payday? Get the fuck out of here, like a little bitch. Like, so he's doing all this shit until finally he full blown knows English. and it's like, but that's just transfer. Like it's taken years.
Yeah, exactly.
So now, okay, he knows English. He's super popular, and he won't fucking fight anybody. Whoop-de-doo. Like, I don't want Inoue to get to that point, like, where it's like you ran out of opponent, so you just gotta talk English is the biggest thing you can get to boxing now. Like, no, like, nah.
Yeah,
don't go to third. That's the last thing that you can give us.
And funny things too is I think Monster, if he has, I think Monster has things to say that probably get lost in translation. Like like obviously when we used to talk about with Triple G or some others used to use translators, like largely that you can tell. And then of course there were the fighters that actually did know English but preferred to not speak it. Like like they knew it fluently, like a fucking Juan Manuel Marquez. That was a complete fake out. I remember I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
Or like Manny, when somebody asks Manny a question he don't want to answer, he uses a translator.
Yeah, he'd go back.
Yeah, like he be doing that shit on purpose. Like his wife sound better English speaking than him, which is crazy.
The national language in the Philippines is English. You know what I'm saying? We don't manage to speak English.
Yeah, that's what like. The shit I be hearing, but like, remember I had a boxing student who was from the Philippines, and she was kind of letting me know that you need to like boxing and basketball, the focus over there. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Because like them niggas, they fuck with basketball heavy over there. You think it's just boxing? Nah.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. No. I mean, Manny Pacquiao himself. Like, I mean, because remember they used to show the clips of him playing ball and shit like that, and then he wants his son, who wants to be a boxer, to follow up into his cut and not go in the ring, but actually play basketball. He loves him some basketball.
Yeah, they love some fucking basketball, and my whole thing is, at least we know that about Pacquiao, and that's something we kind of learned years ago. Like, what is that for Inoue?
Yeah, honestly, like, I mean,
what the fuck does he like?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I know is that motherfucker he be shopping at them really high end stores, looking like looking like a hipster, and I'm like, okay, like he likes fashion, like it's like like
they get him on some fashion blogs, some shows, had this nigga walk around and do sneaker shopping, like get fucking creative with this shit, like stop trying to like, and that's why I say I gotta give MVP credit, like lean into the strength. They know Baumgartner is, real photogenic, and all they do is just Monster, like get him in some damn clothing store, get him modeling, do something.
Yeah, because like I said, that fight showed me, like I said, with all those people that were waiting in the arena, just waiting there until dude finished doing what he was doing with the media shit and left the ring. Like that, like I mean, I don't see this a lot from fighters, like any fighter, not just like. The 4 or 5.
The crowd knew they was watching something special.
Right.
It's like,
I mean, yeah.
It's like to hang around at the end of a good movie. Like that feeling, Inoue, that last fight Inoue had, that feeling is the feeling we were supposed to get when we walked out of Creed 3.
Nigga, you do not like Creed 3 at all.
Like you're supposed to just, it ain't even settled down yet. You're kind of like.
My nigga does not like Creed 3 at all.
Like, nah, like boxing, like theatrical boxing needs a reset. Like we need a whole new story, new something else. Y'all running Creed and Rocky into the ground. There can't be just one thing. Like,
yeah, I mean that's a whole different conversation too. Yeah, but
and honestly, Inoue could be the flagship, like of something like that. Like there's just so much they could do that people don't want to do it. Marquise, Creed 3 was hot bubbling trash. Mm-hmm. See, I ain't know.
I mean, this because I watched a different version for most people because I watched like an early I watched a screening. And they left some stuff on the floor. I will say that is for damn sure. Because I remember me and Jay were talking about it. They left some stuff on the floor. So that's why
the Rocky movies need to have more training footage. Like these new Creeds, the training don't fucking hit like the old Rockies, like.
Well, yeah, I get in Creed 3 the training sequences were not that great, but the first Creed they were like the first Creed they had good training sequences.
Yeah, and that's what these boxing movies are missing. Like a lot of people want to see the training done in boxing. That's what's missing out. They want to learn something when they watch boxing. They want to. It's like the jams, the dialogue. Like people want to hear that. Okay, I want to hear that old. We want to hear the old school trainer and that trainer ass niggas used to hear in Fight Night.
Yeah, I mean, Monster 2, like, one of the things too, I'm surprised that Top Rank has not, because Monster himself posts his training footage, and that shit is fascinating.
Yeah, he does.
Like, why doesn't Top Rank actually take the footage of, okay, like, actually show, like, a day in the life, like, what do, like, not like, I mean, HBO used to do that too, like, when they were doing it 24/7. What did niggas do to prepare for a fight? You know, just, you know, the whole the morning day routine. I mean, unless of course you're Marquez though, you don't want to do, you know, unless there's no Marquez shit, because you know, yeah, that Marquez was wild. Yeah, that nigga was wilding out hard drinking his pee on camera. So, but as long as it's not shit like that still be good viewing, and we learn more about Monster and how he goes about preparing for a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's honestly what needs to be done with the Monster Inoue. Like he's not being like the marketing hasn't been maximized with him yet. Like there's so much more you could do like with this dude's career, because I don't see him fighting for another damn 10 years. You might get 5 years max.
Yeah, because one thing about Japanese fighters too, like. You don't really see an old Japanese fighter hang around once, you know.
Yeah, these niggas ain't gonna stick around like that. He's making too much money.
Especially at that weight. And always, 31, 32? He's got about, you know, I mean, he's talented. I'm just saying, like, you know, the average fighter at that weight falls off a little quicker age-wise.
Yeah. And himself, like, and even though he fights frequently, it's just like, you know, you only get so much more fights out of him. Like, I mean... Like honestly, if he fights 10 more times, you know that'll be
if that, bro.
Yeah,
because you got to look at it. These niggas is fighting twice a year. Like I give him his credit, like he is consistent in that. But it's like when you at that level, like that's 5 years right there.
I mean, this year he's going to be fighting 4 times, like, you know, September and then December, depending on how hard the Ahmadallah fight is in September. You know, we'll see if...
How many times he fought this year so far? Once, right?
Twice.
He fought twice this year? Oh, he did.
Yeah, the
first fight was a damn jobber bonus.
Yeah.
The card level on Street Fighter ass level.
Yeah.
The fucking prove your strength Mortal Kombat level ass fight.
Yeah. And truthfully, if, you know, fighting 4 times like, on his level, like, it's rare. Like, you know, the other pound-for-pound fighters are not fighting 4 times in a year.
Unless you're Daenerys.
Yeah, unless you're, yeah.
he did it. And he fought names, too. Like, these niggas ain't doing that.
Yeah, so it is, yes. Let's see, Android. If you can make something out of a fake martial artist like Bruce Lee, how do you fumble the real thing anyway? I wouldn't call Bruce Lee a fake martial artist. Like,
yeah, y'all niggas be killing me. Like, god damn, Bruce Lee be getting so much fucking hate, like, online. Like, what he do to y'all niggas? I definitely wouldn't call him a fake martial artist, but I understand the concept. If you could do so much with martial arts with Bruce Lee, like, y'all have in a way the real thing. Like, get him some damn some English lessons and put him on these fucking shows.
Hell, I mean, dude should have made at least. I mean, it should have made at least an American TV appearance too, or something like that. Like, you gotta, like, I mean,
exactly. Now, I do give him props for whoever arranged the whole cigar talk with him and Najee. That was cool.
Yeah,
but it's not enough.
Yeah. That, I mean, honestly, I mean, because it's rare that Monster even talks to lower level media, although he's not lower level, but lower for, you know, basically it's like, you know, global media, and then you like, it's rare that anyone gets an interview like that on that level,
and that needs to change. Like, if you want to be, we're in 2025, like, y'all want to be big superstars, y'all want to connect with the people, like, you got to talk to the people.
And the funny thing is, I'm sure Monster is probably wanting somebody, whether it's his handlers in Japan or someone like that, can actually. So someone there that wants to maximize it and can maximize them.
Yeah. Now they definitely talking about it, but it's just like I think they just got the wrong vehicle, wrong machine. Like Top Rank, it looks like it's a no-brainer because y'all had success with Pacquiao and Daenerys, but maybe y'all only know how to market Filipinos and not Japanese.
Well, I mean, Pacquiao. Pacquiao. At least he learned English. He learned it, and then of course it helped that he fought the killers in his divisions. Like Monster.
Yeah. I mean, his style might be even more exciting than Inoue as well.
Yeah, because I think Pacquiao had the advantage, at least in the competition, because he was fighting other future Hall of Famers and killers in his divisions.
Yeah. The timing worked well for Pacquiao. Like Inoue, he's caught like a little bit of what Crawford happened at 140. Like Crawford, he's the only nigga who had the easiest 140 reign of all time. Like when he was around, that division wasn't really popping, but you could tell it was simmering. Because as soon as he left, the division popped off.
Sure did.
And that's why Josh Taylor gets so much respect from dudes, because he had to really fight a gauntlet of niggas to become undisputed, where ain't too many people was doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, in a way, like he missed out on the whole, the bantams and
he missed out on 115 because obviously the stars were aligned, but unfortunately, like I said, sometimes shit happens, and
it took one fight. The goddamn robbery Chocolatito endured from
Sir Rung Visai, aka
Sir Rung Visai. Yeah, like. That fuck the goddamn judges in that fight. Fuck you, that.
And of course, it didn't happen. Of course, and then the rematch happened, and then he gets brutally knocked out. So it's like, that was like, that
fucked up a lot of shit, because if that fight with Chocolatito would have jumped off, like if he would have got the decision like he was supposed to, the Inoue fight really was just a matter of time.
Yeah, and the only thing he did was pretty much accelerate Monster's descent into bantamweight, because he was he was going to do damage at 115, but like I said, it was just when trajectories get messed up, not of his own doing though. This is just this was just one of those things where just the motherfucker
that fucked up everything, because it ruined that fight as well as the other fights.
Yeah, and HBO would have. Yeah, and HBO would have definitely aired the fuck out of that fight. We would have actually gotten a build-up.
Yeah, remember, I was watching Inoue when he was fighting on dudes' undercards.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, niggas is already they know each other and shit. Like, we already know, so this would have been a big fight. But once that kind of happened, Inoue ain't really get another marquee fight. It took the Daenerys fight to happen.
Right.
And if Daenerys didn't make his comeback exciting, then that wouldn't even look good.
Exactly.
So it's like, Monster's doing all this and he's not in the best time frame for these fights. Like, he's doing the best he can, but the time ain't been on his side in these situations.
Right. But but still, to accomplish what he's accomplished, even outside, even like beyond that, like that shit is like, like I said, there's a reason why he's pound for pound. Depending if you want to put him 1, 2, or 3, depending on where you want to put him, like he's up there, So
and he gets the style points. Like all these other niggas they're having like whole home decisions in their fights. Inoue still knocking motherfuckers out. Like that counts for something, man. Like.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say, well, Crawford, he could have stepped on the gas with Magic Mom. Then why didn't he? or Usyk, he could have got a Tyson Fury out there. Look how bad he had him the second time. Then why didn't he?
Yeah.
Like, don't give me stop. Because that's all I'm gonna say is why didn't he? Like, you know this motherfucker more than I do. You know him more than he know himself. Why didn't he stop these niggas? when Monster don't give you a why, it's just win.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all I want to fucking hear. Win.
Yeah.
Not why.
Let me see. Android. Junto Nakatani seems way more open to speaking English. Yeah, because I think he understands it too. Because I think he understands because he's probably a younger fighter too. So he probably
younger. The time is on his side.
Yeah.
But this is the thing too. He knows he's more like in the Crawford position where he knows shit gonna start bubbling for him soon.
Yeah.
Whereas Monster, I don't think the divisions are ever going to really bubble for Monster. Like one or two people might emerge where it's like, okay, this is a marquee fight, but I don't think Inoue will have that one fight where it's like, okay, he's finally with somebody in the 50-50 fight. I don't think that's ever going to happen in his career.
The only crossover fight, in terms of that, would be Tank, and that's not realistic in terms of,
Yeah,
because it's not a genuine fight because it's like there's too much weight between the guys to make it.
Yeah,
and it's like Tank just got, and it looks bad on Tank because Tank has too many notable fights around him for you to go and kind of pick Inoue.
Right. It's not good. I mean, like I said,
Tank would have to clear these. Like, look, if Tank doesn't beat Tiafimo, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, if you would have cleared all these names, then we could start saying, okay, you know what, fuck it. Monster's definitely talented, more talented than all them niggas. Like, what if Monster moved up? We can entertain, but he hasn't. And even then, I don't want to say Tank has got to be the one who beat all these names. But he got to, get one or two. Because I want the other niggas to fight each other, too. I ain't one of these niggas who expect Tank to be the only one doing heavy lifting, but he's gonna have to take some. He's gonna have to take some notable zeros outside of Ryan Garcia or fucking Jose Pedraza. Come on, get a Stevenson or one of these niggas, or get somebody at 140. But you got to get somebody, because in a way, fight and you still got all these names. That's why the Canelo and Benavidez shit look so bad, because it's not like Canelo was fighting their names at Benavidez or names that are just as good, but they're completely worthless. It was like, damn, you're running away from the one fight that you have, nigga. Like, what's wrong with
Oh man, but yeah, no, it's Monster, Monster. I mean, you could in the last next 3-4 years, obviously they need to go and really. I mean, I know Monster. I know the most unpopular thing he's done is that because he signed a Riyadh season contract. So I'm sure sometime either the last fight of this year or sometime next year, we're gonna see what Turkey has in store for him in terms of who he's gonna be fighting, and stuff like that. And we'll see how his career trajectory actually goes. But yeah, but overall, like I said, if you want to, you can't call Monster overrated when he's doing literally all the things that you want your fighters to do. I mean, we would love it. Let's say if a Tank fought 4 times a year and he fought or he fought the killers, or he went and fought the killers in this division. He should have took a belt from an actual active champion by now, another one by now,
because the names are too spread out. You go from Frank Martin to fucking Lamont Rhodes. Lamont Rhodes overperformed, so now you got to fight him again. But now here you're going to fight Jake Paul as well this year. So it's a lot of shit going on, bro. Not some of these other names, but then Shakur Stevenson finally getting this Zepeda fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Just all these niggas just move too slow and just in general. If you superstar Inoue, get your shit lined up. But I just feel like these niggas, they don't believe in themselves, or they're too greedy. They're trying to, scrape the bottom of the barrel, so it takes too long to make these goddamn fights.
Right.
And y'all are too much of the A side for where it's if you send niggas a contract and the overwhelming amount of money, it shouldn't be no issue.
Exactly.
And so that's the that's the real hang up, when I'm discussing these fights. Shout outs to Bill Haney, yes. Shutterworth on me.
A real one for supporting Haney, day one fan. Shutterworth always welcome to the cookouts. I swear you get the wildest supporters, yo. I swear, yo.
But he be in there too. He show up when I be live by myself too.
I know. I see all them damn comments. I be like, God damn, yo.
Well, salute Bill. Like, chill with the Tarver hate though, bro. Like,
that's a Florida nigga. He can't. That nigga LB will never hate no damn Tarver. Like, that's a Florida.
Yeah,
nigga.
like you gotta chill, bro. Like the Tarver still on another level.
Yeah.
What's good, Rob?
What's good, Rob? Yeah, no, we just been talking about all the silly shit about Inoue being overrated, shit like that, and he's definitely not over. And to sum it up, he's definitely not overrated. He's, like I said, boxing is going to miss Inoue when he actually does retire, because I know the lightweight division will actually miss him.
Shout out my boy Rob, because he's kind of semi-boxing fan. You know what I'm saying? He kind of brought up Inoue too. So that's kind of a sign. He's a kind of casual boxing fan. He kind of asked me about the Inoue fight. Talking about
like I said, people. I mean, I deal with enough casual people. People know who Inoue is by now. Like, Inoue is not tucked away anywhere. Like, Inoue is a known fighter. Like, that's what
him not getting on the Mike Tyson podcast. I think Andrew alluded to this earlier. Was one of the greatest fumbles of boxing of all time. Like, and the thing is, I don't think it's too late. Like, they could still some type of honestly, you could put Tyson and Benavidez and Inoue, because he like him so much, and he both call him monster. So it's like, it just get creative, man. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would say is, as long as Mike is, on the level today, like he ain't on shrooms or he's not smoking that big weed, because bro will be smoking that big weed, and he'd be on one. Because
y'all don't want, like, because I know the Japanese, they probably get offended. Like, y'all don't want him to get offended, but then now we got to fight with Inoue and Mike Tyson. Nigga, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I support. I support him going on the podcast, or even going on Porter's podcast, or Custer's podcast, or something like that. Someone like notable, like just like they need to spread. He needs that. He needs that audience. Like people want to know more about him.
The boxing bigwigs, they don't. Like, they're too, like, and this is the shit I be talking about, because you be leaning toward this sometimes. Like, they're too primitive in their approach. Like, everything's done within a boxing bubble for boxing fans, and it's like, in a way, he's good over here with boxing fans. Like, get him, he ain't even getting the Breakfast Club type of damn love. Like get him in different circles now. Like, get him read the room now.
Yeah, like, now that he got Vegas on lock, put him in New York or something like that. Put him like move him around in America, and in different like in other big like stadiums, like especially New York, especially. Like, definitely put him in New York. Like that's really the next American stop for him. Like for like he is a draw. People clearly like watching the fight. People will go to his fights even after all the reports of saying that all the tickets were slowed up for the Cardenas fight and everything like that, and we in the marketing, like, people showed up, he showed out, and like I said, they stood there and they literally did not go anywhere until that man left the ring. Like, no other fighter today has that type of pull, like that, who are big draws themselves. Like, they don't. None of them. I have not seen them do that. So, like, yeah, they.
That's why I'm looking forward to a fight like Simpson versus Tucker. Two guys still young with potential fighting. None of them are stars yet. We need something that at a younger age. And I definitely co-sign that. Like, I'm trying to see more fights with younger, talented guys in their prime. Like, I'm tired of, y'all waiting till niggas is 35-0 before you match up label mates and shit.
Yeah, I've been pounding the gavel on that shit. Like a gavel. I'm like, I want to see that. Like, I want to see more young prospects. Like, this is where, like, I used to like when Boots and Ortiz were at 147. I said before, I wanted to see that shit. That didn't need to be built up, but like you gotta build that shit up now. Like, you gotta let them fight. Now, and now unfortunately they're separated by a division, and we don't know when that's actually going to be. They're going to get on the same page. But yeah, that should have.
But Boots need to just move up now. Like all this, Norman don't want the smoke. Like I kind of feel like he did enough at 147 to show niggas, hey, I'm that dude. Move up.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You give us the fucking Ortiz fight, bro. Like this, yeah. Stop. But yeah, in a way, like, and even like I said earlier, in a way, don't have all these options these other niggas have, like Boots and some of these options these people have, they're good options, but they're tough fights. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, if you're supposed to be that dude, then I know you're not shrinking from a tough fight.
Yeah, exactly.
That's been my whole argument with Crawford and the 154 guys. Like, now those are good fights, bro. It just they're too tough for you at this point in your career. Like, mm-hmm. I read between the lines. There's no shade or nothing, no hate. But I know, after he got done with Magic Mom, I know he ain't trying to see no fucking Ortiz and no Murder Liev. That's a hard fight. Like, those are 60-40 fights for Crawford. Mm-hmm. If you're going to do a 60-40 fight for Crawford, you're going to just say, fuck it, I'm going to fight Canelo.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah. So, but that's the problem. Like, too many people getting these moments when they're 35, 36. Like, yo, get these fights at 26, 27, my nigga. And that's why niggas calling out on Tank, because Tank is right at the perfect age to get these fights.
But and then Monster's at the age too. Like next year, like Monster should have a super fight. I mean, Nakatani is a super fight, but something. But super fights need to really start being put together for him.
Definitely.
Like 122. He wrapped up 122, and Akhmadov is really the last fighter at 122 that's kind of left for notoriety. But after that, it's time to start being a little creative with his matchmaking. To get those big fights. So, like I said, he's good in America now. He will sell in America. You just got to provide the right partner.
Get some more mom and pops endorsements for him too.
Yeah.
Shakey's Record Shop, and proud sponsor of Inoue. Devin's Donuts, proud sponsor, like just some random Simpsons ass names. Most Tavern.
Yeah, but like I said, though, I mean, hopefully, we're able to kind of convince you that Monster is far from overrated, and people need to start being clowns and start biases and really start. If you want to do something for boxing, call out the bullshit, not just your bias. Like I said. There was from the Inoue's fight weekend. There was a lot to criticize, but Monster should have not been the most criticized fighter that weekend, which it seems like it was.
Yeah, facts. Like it's one of those. No one don't say nothing about this. No Inoue.
Yeah.
Like no, leave them alone. Like that. I feel like. That's the pass Fat Joe gave man in blood thicker. Like you gotta pass this time. Like you good.
Yeah.
You cool today, but that's it. Like, you ain't gonna be dissing them motherfuckers next week or nothing. Like nah, them niggas held down boxing. Chill. Like,
right.
That's all it is. Cause and just to answer the question for the video, and King P's right from earlier. Like it's a. Like we shouldn't even have to do this, but you motherfuckers so hard headed when greatness is right in front of you. But like I've said this before, Inoue is the closest thing you'll see to a perfect fighter. It's not Floyd, it's not Canelo, not Crawford, not Pacquiao. It's it. Because when you break down everything he does in all the categories, he's hitting everything 9 and 10. Like when you get those guys like him and Roy Jones, Sugar Ray Leonard, where you could go by punch for punch, defense, footwork, left jab, left hook, left uppercut, left smash, right hook, right hand. Like when you go, it's like you're not giving anything he does less than a 9 or a 10.
Facts.
So it's like that's why I said he's the closest to perfect because any punch can knock you out.
Mm-hmm.
He ends fights when he wants to end fights.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and the funny thing is, too, is, like, he's also a high-level boxer, too. Like, the Fulton fight pretty much showed the apex of his boxing ability. You know, like, he showed that, you know, dude hits a shoulder roll better than a lot of fighters, than, like, 98% of the fighters out there. Can work behind the jab, can use his athleticism, you know, to, like, at a high level to set up whatever his offense is. And then break somebody down, and then brutally put them away. Like, I mean, you will not find a better type of boxing performance, you know, with like Inoue and Fulton. Like that was a special performance. Like that, like yeah, you don't see that much. Like you don't see that type of breakdown of someone who was considered prime and. Who was probably on the lower level of a pound for pound list like that, and just completely annihilate.
Boy, like that, yeah. Just well, props to Fulton for bringing his career back, but yeah, like you know, y'all just gotta chill with the whole Inoue hate. Like you know, this is a once in a lifetime talent. You know, I'm happy to see so many once in a lifetime talents in my once in a lifetime life. Mm-hmm. And, you know, maybe y'all gotta start recognizing when y'all see it, you know, because there ain't too many once-in-a-lifetime talents active right now.
Hell to the nah.
Especially where they're gonna give you, you know, 3, 4, 5 more years of elite boxing. Like, Crawford is gonna be done soon. Bam's gonna be around.
Yeah, Usyk is gonna be done soon.
Usyk gonna be done soon. Like that nigga been done for the last 5 years since the Caleb Plant fight. He's been done.
Yeah.
Fucking who else? Bitter Beef's gonna be done soon.
Mm-hmm.
But Bivol, I don't imagine Bivol being around too much longer. Mm-hmm. So then you just gonna be left with the goddamn the Sakurs and the Haneys and the Bam Rodriguez's and.
Mm-hmm.
And a few more names, the Navarates, but those are quality. But you know, let's not kid ourselves. These niggas ain't once in a lifetime talents and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Although I feel like Navarrete kind of in a weird way is. I'll give him that.
He just needs to focus. Like you know,
yeah, he don't have the once in a lifetime like focus. Yeah, he's more like the Zab of that group. Shout out to the pilot. Where it's like he might be the most talented, but I think he's not getting the most from his talent. If that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
So yeah, that's what. So you know, you take away Inoue, and he ain't really got any once in a lifetime talents in their prime boxing right now. So y'all motherfuckers gotta chill because. You gonna get to a point where it's like y'all gonna be hating shit, and then y'all gonna get to a point y'all gonna start appreciating niggas because you gonna see boxing be so fucking trash.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna start looking at it like, God damn, like, yo, I miss when Monster used to fight. He had the mornings popping, ain't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And now you got this bullshit ass nigga fighting him from Japan at 5:30, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Or you got some other motherfucker fighting. So yeah, like learn to recognize greatness, man. Get that fucking hate out your system.
Absolutely. But I think we spit enough bars about Inoue and overratedness. Do we have anything minor you want to bring up before we get up out of here?
Nah. I'm gonna try to go live more this week. So y'all can vibe with the nigga, chill. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing live. I'm gonna just be live, shit. Make sure niggas jump on that Sample Kings Forever. It's out now. Shout out to everybody else in Ring Gang holding it down. You know what it is. I got more training videos on the way. I just ain't get a chance to schedule them out. But they uploaded. Ring Gang taking over and shit. Might even get Ring Gang on Twitch. You never know. Like we taking over. That's the last place we ain't really take over.
Yeah, Twitch. Yeah, although in the past though, it's been mentioned and stuff like that. It's just we'll definitely have to explore Twitch in terms of what because a lot of you stream motherfuckers be on that shit and be on some because that whole
I've been thinking about it a lot lately this week. Like I've been mulling over it. Like I've been spoke on it before. And shout out to Kang Song. He's mentioned it to me. But yeah, I'm gonna try to transition us, get us on Twitch so we can be everywhere, so niggas know it's Ring Thing. Cause it's summertime. Trying to get in some more training sessions. Maybe go live during the day training. So niggas can see it. Cause the last training session live was goddamn at 2:30 a.m. shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to the West Coast niggas.
Yeah.
All the vampires out there.
So I mentioned there's a Japanese title boxing title fight at 1:30 tonight. So for any of the hardcores, we do got a lot of boxing this week. It's kind of mid, but we start tonight.
Sugar Nunez and that Rikishi fight is not going to be mid. That's actually going to be a fight.
Yeah.
That's the fight you're talking about, right? For tonight.
Yeah. So vacant 130 title fight. So.
Yeah, that's the belt that Kachi gave up. So yeah, that fight's gonna be a fire fight.
That's gonna be lit.
Yeah, and then obviously, and then of course, Beck the Bully and Fulgham. Full Golden Boy, their prospects, they fight on Friday. If you want to catch that, I mean, Beck the Bully has a good chance of getting knocked out. So that's a plus.
I do favor Beck the Bully because Fulgham's a late starter, but. We'll see. It's interesting.
Yeah. And then, of course, PBC is also on Saturday. That one I won't watch live because I have a function I have to go to. Although, technically, I could if I wanted to watch on my phone. Yeah.
All right.
Playing in Charlo. So, yeah, there's some boxing. But the Japanese boxing, though, like I said, them Japanese cards, they have that fighting spirit. So, like, like I said, it's a... I would recommend that you tune in to watch those.
Also, my fault.
No, go ahead, Pilot.
I was going to mention there's also a match from Mexico, Pat's favorite, of the Galagos Code 2. Galagos versus Code 2.
Khalil Cole. Now, if that's a signing that Eddie fucked up on because they signed Cole because he knocked out that Cuban fighter, the Cuban Olympian.
Yeah.
It's in Mexico on Friday. Galagos Code 2, and MJ's on it as well.
As his stay busy fight.
Yeah,
motherfucker been just staying busy for the last 5 years.
I'm saying, like, ever since he took the belt from Danny Roman, which he never rematched that dude. So it's like.
Yeah, that was some bullshit.
You were there, obviously. Yeah, you were there for that fight, anyways.
Great fucking fight. God damn, that was a good night of boxing. Jesus, horrible logistics.
Yeah, just the logistics. I mean, like the fights were on point. Just the logistics for him were just like they were not good. Yeah.
Like I like the way it was set up, where you're looking down at the ring and shit, and it had that little. The Ludus from Spartacus feel, to it, But yeah, I want to see real gladiators. I don't want to see no bullshit.
Word.
But yeah, it was nice chopping it up with y'all tonight, boxing wise.
Well, and one more thing I definitely got to mention, Josh Taylor, he's finished. Yeah, if you saw what
still didn't see that fucking fight, but he was looking like goddamn the fucking Street Fighter 2 hit continue screen because
that
nigga looking like 10 on that bitch.
Yeah, Josh Taylor is a cautious tale of why you shouldn't stay in the division for too long, no matter what the fucking reason.
Him and Regis should have moved up after that fight. You know, at least after Taylor after the Ramirez fight, but they stayed too long at 140. I felt like.
Yeah,
and it ruined them.
Yeah. I mean, at least with Taylor at least could say that like his 140 run gets respect because he fought killers. Like he fought and took zeros.
He got undisputed and everything. So I get that, but it's like, bro, like it's like you peaked and then it was a fast fucking fall to the bottom.
Yeah, 3 fights in a row, and it's one thing to lose to a Catterall, it's one thing to lose to Teofimo Lopez, but now you're losing to domestic fighters with 8 KOs in like 20-something fights, and you get bashed up on top of that. Like, you know.
Yeah, like I always kind of look at niggas differently when, you know, you letting a light puncher fuck up your face like that.
Yeah, and he did with numerous right hands. Like, you know, just said like you did your thing at 140, and I know this was your 147 debut, but if you can't beat this level of fighter, you probably need to start looking at some retirement.
And he was way too big to be trying to stay at 140, bro. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? When you got Crawford body dimensions, you need to be where he at, not fucking at 140, bro. Like, I never, like, y'all, like, I don't know, man. Like, we gotta, like, certain things need to be reset in boxing. Like, y'all motherfuckers gotta stop trying to get these easy wins, these easy belts by being the bigger man in these early divisions. Like, some of these shits, you know, you only good for that division for maybe 10, 15 fights, and your big ass need to fucking leave.
Facts.
Because this shit, we seen it play out 20 times. Like, there's boxers now that, you know, Devin Haney might be added to that list. We don't know yet, but he might be another one who stayed at 135 too long, to where it's like 140 didn't even make a difference. Like, because you really welterweight.
And now he's at 147, you know what I'm saying? Now he's already at welter, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you do it in a way like where you try to just jump up there like that, you might be on some Jamel Charlo shit where you ain't really.
Yeah, I don't know why Charlo was stay at 130, 154 again. Like, go to 160, bro. Like, you know.
Fuck is at 160?
I'm just saying for his sake. I don't think it's going to be good if he stays at 154.
I mean, I feel you. I just feel like he needs to do the situation I already talked about. Like, you know, get you a 160 fight with Denzel Bentley, and see what you can do.
He spun the block. Yeah, he spun the block already almost damn near twice. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Lara and Adames are on the same platform. They both got belts. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know.
No, I agree with you. Like, I'm tired of. I mean, at this point, we just want Mel to come back. The fuck.
Yeah, he's supposed he's coming back. There's a fight in the works, but still, it's like
I feel like niggas is taking turns. I feel like it's like they're the Darrell bros all over again. Now that was like Anthony's turn to come back type shit.
Facts.
I was like, okay, so we're gonna get Jamal for a while now. Oh man, but yeah, man. Shout outs. Are we back Thursday? What are we doing? Like, we good or? That's it for this week.
We could say. I mean, the music is. Or we could probably do the music like next week because I know this week is kind of like short. But we could either rant on Thursday or whatever. But we'll figure it out.
Yeah. We'll probably if we're back Thursday, we're probably just gonna rant, talk shit, chop it up. Because there's plenty of shit to be chopping it up about.
Yeah, there's a lot of fuckery going on right now. Like
a lot of fuckery. So we definitely gonna chop some shit up.
Yeah.
And next week we probably jump on. Is either Pilot gonna get his shit ran, or are we gonna do one of those movie shows? I'm not movie
music
movie soundtrack episodes.
Word.
And you remember Slam?
Yeah, I remember Slam.
Do you remember the soundtrack for that? That was dope too, right?
I haven't listened to a hot minute though, but I remember that shit, yo.
I think Pun was on there. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. My bad. You can wrap it up. That just came to my head. Like randomly, and I'm just like, let me ask this nigga this shit.
Yeah, I mean that shit came out in like because that was for the movie. That shit came out in like 98 or some shit like that. Yeah, because I think they had that "I Dare You" shit with Black Robin. They had some joints on there.
Yeah, I dare you to come against me. I dare you.
Yeah. See, now I gotta make sure I'm gonna put that on my streaming shit. Like I put it in the queue. I might need to listen to that shit tomorrow when I'm driving to the gym in the morning.
Yeah, I barely remember the movie. Just the one part I think where the nigga they put glass in his food. Like,
yeah, no, it's been a minute. Like, when I saw Slayer, I think I saw it on a hot box. I didn't watch it in theater. It was on a hot box.
It was definitely like on some TV shit. Like, motherfucker, like they take that nigga Trey in prison. He's like, fuck it, if I can't eat, nobody gonna eat. He flipped the tray. Niggas like, this fucking lost his mind. Like,
Yo, the classic. But yeah, shout out to everyone that that listened to us. I saw some people in the chat and everything like that. And yeah, most likely, like I said, we'll probably be back on Thursday ranting and stuff and about the wicked world and all the things in it. And yeah, for myself, Pat Scorpio, the New England representative. For LB Shuttleworth, the God of the Go artist. For King P. Bodega B. And for Conscious Pilot. This has been another wonderful episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. So until next time, peace.